Wow. So my critique on Fleetwood Mac and Lindsey Buckingham leaving fold. I think it's definitely Stevie Nicks is one of the big people to play a major part in that, because like if I'm reading the lyric from Peacekeeper, like our only creatures who are on their way ever poison their own well. We still have time to hate, and there's something we can sell. Is that Lindsey? Anyway, so Peacekeeper, bullshit. No, pull sugar, I should say. Anyway, so we could expect Stevie Nicks at any given moment, any time this decade or generation, standing on top of the roof of her hotel that she's staying in with a shotgun, telling all the neighbors to get in the house, that she's not angry. She's not angry. Yes, she is. I think she's pissed off about that duets album, or whatever you call it, with Lindsey Buckingham and Christine McVie, where they made a record together. It wasn't really a duets album, but it was an album of the two together. I don't know if Lindsey wrote all the songs. I think they both sang and wrote everything on there. And because of Stevie's close relationship with Lindsey, I'm sure that raised a few feathers and whatnot. And Mick Fleetwood, I believe he also went out with Stevie, didn't he, at some point? No, he probably wasn't thrilled with the idea. He probably thought those songs on that album could be a Fleetwood Mac album, as well as John McVie, the bass player, Christine McVie's ex-husband. So that's one of my theories, that, like I said, the collaboration there that could have rang a few bells. Also, I believe Stevie Nicks has a book coming out, if I'm not mistaken, that goes into detail on her relationship with Lindsey Buckingham. And although you think they would sort of capitalize on all that, having Lindsey in the band on the final tour, if on the final tour kicks someone like that out, you know what I'm saying? Do you keep Keith Richards out of the Rolling Stones on the last tour? I don't think so. Lindsey's angry. No, he's not particularly angry. Anyways, what was I saying? Anyway, so that book that Stevie Nicks wrote, or it's about to come out, and that should maybe shed a light on their relationship or non-relationship. And Lindsey's probably looked upon as a piece of manure and hate. So poor Lindsey, man. You were my favorite guy in the group by far, in all incarnations, probably. Maybe the earlier incarnations had some interesting guys. Obviously, Mick's been through like every incarnation. Mick Fleetwood. Who is it? Green, Kerwin, Bob Welch. There have been a lot of good players, but Lindsey's been the most consistent artistic genius, like myself and my own music. Lindsey, I'll do an album with you. Not quite like you and Christine, but more of a rock and roll, rock out. Buddy, you know, let's just drink up a storm and get the hottest babes, dude. Now, it'll be a lot deeper than that, actually. The very sophisticated, crafted pop songs with articulate lyrics and the London Symphony Orchestra. No. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, I found it a little bizarre that Lindsey was the only one not in the final lineup of the band. I just had a hairball, excuse me. So, like I said, Stevie at any given moment could be on the top of the roof for shock and yelling at everyone, including the 5-0 police, to get in their house. And she's not angry. She's not angry. Yes, she is angry. What do you think, Robin Williams, wherever you are? Am I right about that? Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, this might seem a bit peculiar or odd, but in truth, it's very sad ending to a great legacy of Fleetwood Mac, original rock and roll. So, those were a couple of theories. Also, my other theory was John McVie, the bass player, was another, I believe, original member, along with Mick Fleetwood. He was also married to Christine McVie, the woman who was in Fleetwood Mac, who had left for years but just made an album with Lindsey. That album I was telling you about, the two of them, Christine McVie and Lindsey Buckingham, made an album, and I'm sure John was a little ticked at that, as well as Mick Fleetwood, and thinking that they could bring those songs to Fleetwood Mac, that they should hide. It was a strange move, but I thought it was a cool move, actually. Very cool move. I was hoping the second and third album, and I was hoping they would like shack up Lindsey and Christine. It'd be very interesting. Anyways, do you think Lindsey made that album despite Stevie Nicks and her upcoming book and past relationship? We don't know. But all of a sudden, who the hell did I just become a gossip columnist? I just became Ronan Barrett in like 5 minutes and 2 seconds. It was 4:02, 3. Anyways, no TMZ for me. But Fleetwood Mac, they're marching on, carrying on with. I thought it was not only Neil Finn from Crowded House and Split Enz, one of my favorite bands, Split Enz actually. They were the Beatles to Crowded House's Wings, if you know what I mean. I thought they were using that country guy who was playing with the Eagles, but they're actually using Mike Campbell, one of my favorite guitar players of all time, Tom Petty's lead guitarist and main man guitar on stage. 45 years. They should have used Ben Montench the third, BT3 as I call him, who I chat with on Twitter quite regularly, especially recently. A few comments back and forth. Great guy, Ben Montench. Love you, Ben Mon. You're the man. Anyways, you should use him on keyboard. Do you even have a keyboard player? Oh, Christine McVie, that's right. But it would have been cool to have him also play a little more of the complexity, although Christine's pretty good. Anyways, I got to go. Just a few different little theories. They've gone through so many different changes. Remember, back in the early to mid-'90s, Lindsey Buckingham wasn't a part of the group, and the other four, I believe, were there. Who did they have? I can't think of the name right now. One of those artists, maybe I think the guy who's playing with the Eagles now, maybe, as a replacement for Glenn, along with his son. Anyways, they had a couple of different guys, I don't know who I remember, but I just can't remember for the second. And they soldiered on. They played with that Christian McVie for about 15 years, where it was Lindsey, Stevie, John, and that's the tour I saw, I believe, in like the Peacekeeper tour, maybe, or maybe one in 04, 06, 08. 11, 12, all these years just go by. Like one of my songs, all these years have changed, they've come and gone, and I want to know why, I want to know why. Or my other ballad, move on with your life, don't tell me you were always right, move on, yes, with your dreams. It's not as hard as you thought it seemed. Anyway, supposedly they want to get much deeper. I thought Lindsey was a deep guy, man. That's the guy you want to make that type of album with, man. I don't get it. I don't know if Mike Campbell and Neil Finn are definitely going to bring that to the table. Hopefully they will. Anyways, there have been so many incarnations of one person always being pushed and just took us out the door. And now it's Lindsey's turn. Strange. But he didn't tour them in '87, I remember, after that album. Big Love or something like that. Tango in the Night, was it? I don't know. He made the record and then wouldn't tour. And then after that, I guess he didn't even make records with them. Until, I believe, they did a greatest hits thing in the late '90s. I'm not looking at anything. Or maybe an album. And I think he came back in the fold in the 2000s up until recently, up to a year or two ago. Anyways, so hopefully they'll do one last show with all the original members and all the guys who are alive from even the early incarnations of Linux. That would be fun. Anyways, rock on. Hopefully the tour goes well, and hopefully Lindsey continues to kick ass as a solo artist. He's an excellent solo artist, borderline great artist, period. So I'm sure he'll get his groove on and do some good music. And Fleetwood Mac, maybe, who knows? Maybe it's the best for both parties. More music for all of us. Anyways, why does it look like I bit my lip off when I don't even feel anything? I hope that's not what I think it is. God. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon. Peace. 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 Rock on.